It was the best season of the year. "Christmas time is here," sang John Pizzarelli. It was straight-up Vince Guaraldi arrangement, with the pianist and bass backing John's guitar. Amazing how like Diana Krall John's voice sounded. A throaty alto, not quite so mellow as Mel Torme's would have been, but then Mel Torme was no longer with us. Snowflakes in the air, and there were. The weatherman was calling for an accumulation of 3 to 4 inches before morning. Not enough to cause trouble getting around the city, but certainly enough to give an appearance of noonday to objects below. After the clouds blew out, of course. Last month, he had enjoyed the Macy's parade, and later, visits to the Met and to FAO Schwartz. This was for him, as it was for the children in the song, his favorite time of year. Tonight, he was enjoying an early dinner at the Café Carlyle while listening to a classic jazz performer who never disappointed. His companion was lively. They talked of Christmas seasons past, of people in the publishing business, of politicians. She occasionally leaned over to pat his hand, or so that he could share a confidence with her. They laughed, but mostly they listened to John's performance. Tomorrow night they had tickets to the New York City Ballet production of The Nutcracker. He never missed a year of the Christmas ballet, and he made it a point to queue up every third year or so to see the Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall. It really wasn't the Rockettes he went to see. It was just being in the music hall that he liked so much. Of course, the electronic instruments played by the small orchestra fascinated him. The bright blue neon-wrapped bass and the futuristic electric violins, they reached something of the child in him. He had tried adding the Philharmonic's Messiah to his holiday routine, but found it tiresome. The famed Hallelujah chorus was difficult to botch, but the rest of the lengthy performance depended way too much on the particular singers who were performing that year. And too often, there was only a single great. The other one and 2 or even 3 main soloists might be so-so, and there was little to do but suffer through their solos. Moderate talent could not perform the Messiah. After 2 tries in 3 years, he struck it from his New York City Christmas list. Now, he looked for smaller venues offering selected Christmas music. Sometimes the choirs he chose sang the Hallelujah chorus, and he could enjoy just that without having to endure a contralto reaching beyond her range for notes or a basso profondo unable to reach the vibrato of an exceptionally low note. On the whole, he found the church choir's Christmas concerts to be more enjoyable than the New York Philharmonic's Messiah. And then there was John Pizzarelli and his band. One received consistently professional performances from that group, and when John's wife, Jessica Molaskey, had joined the trio, well, it's what you went to New York for. That and the various jazz manouche and swing jazz some of the hotel bars and clubs could provide. He followed 2 of these groups closely and made sure he could take in at least 1 performance of each during his visits to the city. Carte Blanche seemed to be getting more gigs than Avalon Jazz Band these days, which was too bad, for he thought Tatiana Eva Marie was a much more animated singer than the young ladies who sang with Carte Blanche. Oh well, tonight was about the consistent high quality that pros like Pizzarelli and Molaskey offered. They never disappointed. At the end of John's performance, after the applause had died away, he and his companion rose to leave. A woman at a table farther out from the stage asked her husband, "Isn't that Hope Merriweather?" Her husband strained to look without appearing to look. Where?" "Up near the stage." "Oh yes, I think you're right. If it isn't, she's a double." He used the opportunity of his wife looking away to steal another bite of her remaining double dark chocolate mousse. "Well, who's that she's with?" Caught with the mousse in his mouth, he mumbled, "I have no idea. I've never seen him before." That's what he meant, but to her it sounded like, "Yeah, him before." A woman at the next table, having overheard the conversation, leaned across. "I think that's Jack Blaine. I read something in one of the gossip pieces in the Times or the Post about Hope Merriweather being seen out with a mystery man." The reporter was pretty sure it was Blaine. "Who's Jack Blaine?" the First Lady asked. "Not really sure, other than he obviously has money. You don't see very much about him, but there are all kinds of stories, like he's the bastard son of you-know-who and inherited all his money. Or there's the one that he's really the brains behind 2 or 3 Wall Street firms. But the story people seem to like most is that he found a buried treasure and has been selling off the pieces bit by bit for years.